Hey up guys, what's going on? Welcome back to York City, the one game played in between last time and now. Hull City, away from home, 1-0. Velasquez got the goal, there was two very early bookings and that was basically everything sort of done in the first 16 minutes. Largely wasteful otherwise, 11 shots on target, probably should have been more than 1-0, but we'll take it. That's not our player by the way, we do still have John Egan. Somewhere. The curious thing in regards to the table though is that has rocketed us up into third, because in terms of the top six, everybody lost apart from Sheffield Wednesday. The other four teams in this top six all dropped points apart from Sheffield Wednesday. So it means we are tied on points with Watford, as I said before, and the three teams on 34 that weren't Sheffield Wednesday remain on 34. So now we are 1 point off the top and 2 goal difference away from automatic promotion. That said, today's matches are against Swansea and Sunderland, so this should be interesting. First up, away at Swansea. Now, these are midweek games, so they are split in two. The only ones playing alongside us are Sunderland, and then Brentford are playing Watford as well. So another match between the top six teams there. A little bit early in the season to be paying like a ton of attention to those teams, but I just want to obviously keep your eyes peeled on those ones for developments that I may inevitably miss as I'm rambling through these episodes. Now, got 3 players, 1 yellow card away, although 2 of them have been 1 yellow card away what seems to be for a month. Medina just didn't do that one because he wasn't fit. I think there was international duty layover. Again, because, of course, he is from a smaller footballing nation of Panama, where he has 30 caps already at the age of 20. And 2 goals for them. He's actually made more appearances and more goals for them than he has for us. Getting better, though. Actually, of this division now. But I see very little reason to change the rest of the team up at this point. Just getting Medina back in there for the time being. Everett's back. Nowhere near match sharpness, of course, took another injury recently, so kind of want to get him on earlier in the match this time round, perhaps just get him a little bit more match fitness on that front, but just Carlos lacking it in the first team at the moment. Team as follows: Dutra, Ingler, Medina, Edgar, Shaw, as we like it, Wilson, Carlos and Velasquez in the middle, also as we like it, Madeira and Lee Tao, arguably a worse player than Everett's back, but performing better than him so far this year, and Shot up front. Now on double digits for the season, 10 goals to his name. 6 for Madeira, 2 for Lee Tao and 2 for Velasquez. So goals are there, even though they did abandon us for 3 games in a row at one point. Swansea with just a couple of new gens. I always do like to have a quick look at those. Mass, I think, has been on my radar a little bit already. Pretty decent, handy defender. Quite physically adept at the very least. Decent heading as well. Although seems to have been unscouted at some point. I think I remember looking at him when he was at Monaco. And I lost out of him when he went to Wolves. Way back when, actually. Very old one. That's why he's probably knocked off my scouting list, actually. He's found his way to Swansea, though, in the long run. Yeah, I tried to get him when he was, properly young. And Baxter, very decent new-gen goalkeeper, actually, at Swansea. 1 eccentricity, which is lovely, really, actually. Low rushing out tendency as well. High punching tendency, but for the most part, dependable. And very, very good area reach. Slow for a young player, though. Yeah, two very good new gens at Swansea. Of course, we've got a team largely filled with them. Away from home at a promotion-placed side, I'm going to give them the old meat. Oh, I've just undone the motivation with happiness, but never mind. We'll undo Shots, at the very least. Shaw on the ball now on this side. 40 seconds into this game, Edgar. We're going to see something at the very, very beginning. Sergio now having to sort of work for that a little bit. Lovely ball through to Lee Tao, who's in quite a bit of open space there to give that to Shot, who rounds number 4 very, very nicely. And, well, it's directly at Baxter, who can deal with better shots than that. Shaw, though, inwards to Carlos, who, again, just space open up for him, but wide in terms of the shot. Now, Sheffield Wednesday aren't playing today, of course. So, as things stand, both us and Watford are joining them on 37 points with a draw. A win, of course, will take either of us ahead of them for the time being. But all other 5 teams involved in this playoff at the very, very top of this are playing right now. 4 of them against each other, of course. Us and Swansea and the other match that we saw a moment ago. Lee Tao, Shot. Lee Tao ricochets in, and arguably a own goal for Jerome Mass, the player I highlighted beforehand there, but it has been given to Lee Tao instead. Probably was on target beforehand, but yeah, an unfortunate diversion by the defender there. Let's see this in 3D. Mass heads it out in the first place. It ends up at Lee Tao's feet. 1-2 played, and well, it's an incredible volley into his own net, actually, in 3D. But because it was on target beforehand, it goes down as Lee Tao's goal rather than an own goal. And takes us to the top of the table, despite what the green text says on the left-hand side there. There we are. It's updated to first now. You are capable of even better, he says of the teams that have beat Burnley and Crystal Palace 4-1 away from home. Like, away form in general, slightly worse than home form, but we've had a few good wins away from home as well at the same time. 51 minutes played of this game, and Madeira on the ball now. Lee Tao, again in acres of space over there. This 5 at the back system for them with a narrow bit going forward is really opened up the space, particularly for the inside forwards and the fullbacks on our side. It's this open space either side of number 14 that we're sort of working our way in towards. Lee Tao, though. I just realised I sort of wiggled my mouse over a thing you can't see behind my face. That was great. Lee Tao scored. But yeah, good job me there. Lee Tao on the corner. I still haven't fixed those, by the way. I should do that. But Lee Tao again, gathers that again, and said again too many times there. Lee Tao, far side. Great goal. Essentially, we just kind of walked through them there. I mean, I don't know why we're seeing that. He's clearly onside. But yeah, Lee Tao just takes the ball there, and no one closes him, and we don't even get to see the finish. And we'll come up positive now. Like, at this stage, we're no longer, in terms of the team makeup, second best a lot of the time anymore. So I'm starting more games on positive, even if we're against teams sort of in the same area. Just because I feel like it gets that little bit more out of the team, particularly in an attacking way. Especially as we've dipped these two guys to support rather than attack, it sort of urges them to move forward a little bit more in that way, whilst not completely abandoning their defensive duties. Now then, I did say I wanted to get... Lee Tao scored 2 goals. I can't take him off. I wanted to get Evers back some game time. Actually, there is a way I can engineer this. Madeira takes over up front, and Evers back takes over on this left-hand side. They keep telling me to put Madeira up front, and now Madeira's injured. Great. That's fine. We have Robertson for that actual position there, and Carlson at 6.6 isn't brilliant. We do have both Nassel and Ramsey on the bench, but Swansea awkwardly now have brought on Reading, which is very confusing because they got promoted last year. Plays a terrible pass back to Ver, which avoids him entirely. He's now works his way over to their right back and backwards across their defensive line. Mass on the ball, being closed down by Lee Tao, I think that is. Baxter. Quite a long build-up on this highlight already, and it's still not made their way out of their half. It has now. Reading on the ball. Closed down. Andre Almeida. Watkins is... Neil Watkins is a pretty handy youth prospect as well. There's quite a lot of grey on it, but it's in areas which aren't highlighted by being a poacher. Like, low passing, low work rate, and low concentration are things I'm not, massively keen on from a forward. I'd accept one of the 3, but yeah, he's been sort of vaguely on the radar at times. But now we're sort of on the same level as him already. He's not kind of featured. Swansea have a lot of good youth prospects. I would not be surprised to see him develop into a quality player. At the very least, from our scouting report, he's got 4 or 5 star potential by our standards, but not there yet. A lot of 14s already, just needs to work on those lower ones. I don't know why this has turned into New Gen Assessment Day, and England looking a little tired already, so Best comes on. I was tempted to take Carlos off, but we'll shore up that left back position and see this one out by the looks of things. Did go over the allotted time, but there we go. 2-1, very useful win. No one gave us a chance, apparently. We're top now, so maybe they'll start giving us a chance. I did fear this was going to happen. We did have to just take a 1-match gap for Shao very recently, and now Inglo could do with the rest. I suspect he may not be particularly fit for the next one anyway. He's been quite tired in the last couple of matches towards the end of them. The one after that's away at Forest, so it's not super easy there either. Obviously, Lee Tao gets praised, and we'll see you for Sunderland. Of course, we played Sunderland last year at home as well, in the FA Cup third round, a cup that we ended up playing Newcastle in as well. So along with Middlesbrough in the lead, we toured the North East that year, or at very least welcomed the North East to the York Community Stadium, because both those games were at home. A weird stat for that year. 6-0, 4-1. Burnley, where do we play you again? Oh, running. And the other half of them playing obviously right now on the Wednesday. So we see how Wednesday do. The only team, of course, not to have played is really thinking about it. Oh, Wednesday drew away at Luton. So, 19 games everyone played. We're officially top with a 2-point cushion on Watford. Admittedly, worse goal difference, so a draw for us and a win for them would still take them ahead of us. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace lost 4-1 at home again. Really surprised that press conference did not involve any questions about James Clarke. Considering I've had, it will be nice to see former player who was there for 6 months on a loan spell from January to June before. Considering I've had players like that appear on the will it be nice to see them again kind of questions. I'm very surprised we haven't had a player like James Clarke, who was here for years, pop up in that press conference. This game sometimes is completely baffling in what it does and doesn't do. Dutra is the best trainer. All right, have some praise. Never seen him or any goalkeeper be top of that, in fact. So the interesting thing is we do play after everyone else today. So we'll see how everyone else does first. And then we get to react. But yeah, obviously the main ones to pay attention to here are FA Cup going on in the background. Swansea lost again to Bolton. Sheffield Wednesday held to a draw. That's important. Watford did win. And Brentford played yesterday, so I think it was a draw for them as well. Which means we do need to win to go top again. But a point would keep us second. I absolutely didn't see the injury result for Madeira in that last game. I presumed it was innocuous, but no, it's 9 days to 3 weeks. Okay, welcome to the team, Alonso, who isn't fully match fit, but it will do. All those players on yellow cards, still on yellow cards. Did say rest England though, so I will do that. At the very least, it will help me stagger out the yellow card situation, hopefully. But the team, other than the changes on the left-hand side, identical to last time. Sunderland's team, notably more new-gen filled than Swansea's was at the very least. 4 of them on their payroll. First team payroll. Hollick's pretty good. 20 years old. Danny Wright. Decent passing, decent technique, great determination. If he's got potential, he might make it. I'm just continuing the theme. We'll just look at all the new gens from now on. Obviously, James Clark at right back, our former player who still hasn't technically got any better. And scored against us last time, so please don't do that again. At the very least, please let us score about 5 first. We've been on a good run again lately. We have actually now. 4 wins in a row after the random loss to Derby, who have recovered a little bit. They're back into mid-table now. I say keep an eye on Swansea. They actually are out of the playoff picture as things stand. Stoke and Middlesbrough nipped in. Viner, though. And there is Barlow. I was about to say that's James Clark. He was on the right side, but it wasn't Clark. Viner. Just assumptions being made there. Closing him down. Closing them down. There he is. There's old Jamesy Clark, who has just been tackled by Velasquez. Thank you, James. Shot. Never mind. Managed to deal with one tackle, but did not with the second. But shot, and wasn't the greatest of them. Wasn't the greatest of his shots. Just does nab the ball once again. Shot's very good at nabbing the ball and then running with it. It seems to happen twice in the highlight. Pity he couldn't get the ball past the goalkeeper. But Medina now. Resulting corner. I shouldn't really be holding out too much hope here. Great play from between the pair of them there. And Velasquez underneath this. And everyone was underneath that shot. My physics degree there coming probably in handy to work out how to get it back out of orbit. Medina, Velasquez, Carlos. Lovely passing play so far. Back to Carlos. I mean, just watched that in horror, really, as that was no need to do that. Just could have played that along the ground to Litao rather than whatever that was. Anyway, Jordan. Ravaglio's through, and that's what Shot should have done. 1-0 Sunderland. Watch this in 3D now, as... Did that ricochet off Shao? Ravaglio, though. Calm, composed, slots it past the goalkeeper. We're going to see it with lines. He's onside. Medina playing him on. Actually, if Medina had held line with the other 3 of them there, he would have been offside. Not the greatest from him there. Hollick. Intercepted by Shao. This is great. Charging forward now. Shots on the ball. Play it left again. No, actually, the left-hand player did not run fast enough. And Shots put it wide. Who was that on his left? Velasquez, I presume. It looked like Velasquez was going to be in a great position to receive the ball there, but then just decided to slow down. Glover taken over on their side. Intercepted by Shao again, whose heading actually isn't the greatest, but he has managed to do that one. Litao. Shao again. Gonçalves. Litao. Over to Velasquez now. Suspect it may end up on between these 2 players on this left-hand side at some point. No, Velasquez is going to go all the way through everyone, really. Lonzo, there it is. Good save by Schofield. I say, I had a feeling it was going to end up over here eventually. They were just hovering a little bit too nicely. Litao, though, on the corner. No one short to play it to. Didn't fix it. Just realised. That's going to be the running thing now, isn't it? When will I remember to fix the corners? Right on the ball. Like now. Say, Alonso in the space again. If we could get it to him. Now he's been covered by James Clark, though, who gets onto that one. Just gives it to us, though. Thank you, James. Forgot what side he was on there temporarily. Alonso. No, he's just a fullback. That's what they do. Gonçalves. Litao. Works his way past number 12 and again wide. We've not had that many block shots. 5 on target, 8 off target. It's not great. And, well then, I think we know what we're going to be saying. We should challenge the team to go out and prove a point. First time my assistant manager says something vaguely sensible, and I've obviously told him to show a bit of desire in the second half, and we have a highlight immediately from kickoff. Carlos. Is this going to be an immediate response now? I say immediate response. You know what I mean. Medina. Them acting on my interest instantly here. Best, Medina. I don't like the way this is going. He has got it to Gonçalves, who has got it to Carlos, and they are closing this down quite well, if I'm honest. Alonso. What was that? Like, if you're going to just give it to the opponent, at least attempt to put it in the box, not to players outside the box. Anyway, Velasquez has nipped in here. Got off his fella number 14, and Shot is in all of the space to do this. Straight to the goalkeeper. Right. You see the guy in yellow? Aim to the sides of him, Victor. And considering they've got two players, he's on a 7.5 there, goalkeeper. Slightly inflated by our striker's inability to shoot either side of him. Robertson's coming on right now. He's on a 6.2, is Victor. And purely because Best's already on a 71%. He wasn't fully match fit when they started, but I did need to obviously rest Ingler for this match. So, and it may have cost us, actually. Ingler may be more important to our side than we first realised. Anyway, 2 changes on 57 minutes already. Lee Tao's got on this ball. Alonso probably should have been in the firing line as well here, but Lee Tao still going forward. He's hit the post. It's more than we've seen from most of our teams so far. We've had 19 shots in this game. Only one of them has been blocked. Shows you how good the quality of our shots have been. Right, demand more, and well, Alonso 66% and on a 6.6. I mean, his performance has been hellish, that's for certain, but I naturally don't really have a replacement to bring on. Just going to bring Evans back on and stick the left-hand side as a winger now, just because there's 2 strong left-footed players. I didn't have anyone else to bring on for Alonso. So we'll see what happens here. Nothing. Okay, I don't know why I open my mouth sometimes. Highlight, as soon as I said nothing, of course. Medina, straight up to Robinson. That was far more direct than I tell him to do it, but never mind. We've got the ball still. Lee Tao has help in Shao on this left-hand side now. Still Shao, back to Lee Tao. Eber's back at the far post, doesn't get to him, of course. Ravaglia now. Is he going to get tackled by Karsk? He is. Karsk is going to get past the player. Not quite. Eber's back's there. Post again. 20. Is it going to be one of these games? Like, I can't fault the performance other than the lack of ability to hit the target. Get creative and go attacking. Of course, nothing happens after that. So, yeah, okay, we've been thoroughly FM'd in that one. I say thoroughly. They still have had 8 shots, but 7 of them were on target. And the one clear-cut chance for them, and they obviously converted it. Is Shao going to tattletale again? I imagine he will. Right, 1 point off the top again. Back to where we started. Oh, Lee Tao this time. Why does Shao need another rest? He just had one. I'll rest him the match after next because it's against Portsmouth. Well, we've come unstuck at home there. Again, actually. Considering we've lost 3 times away from home, it was looking like the away was going to be the tricky thing. But out of the last 9, our only 2 defeats have been at home. Forest away next, though. We're actually play Villa again quite soon. Largely because Preston is the penultimate game of the season and we've already played Aston Villa. I think I might just play through the entirety of December. It is our second season in the Championship. Admittedly, obviously things are going well as things stand, but I still like to try to avoid duplication in the teams that I bring you in a given season. So, with that in mind, could bring you Bolton. Obviously depends what the FA Cup third round ends up being. If that's something important, then I might do that alongside the FA Cup, or could just do the FA Cup if it ends up being a big team, you know, one of the top 6 or what have you. But yeah, could do Bolton on that. Obviously, Bolton, the FA Cup and Derby is another option as well. So it'll be around this time you'll see us next. So have a good weekend. Stay safe. Obviously, if there's anyone who's joined us with the free week of FM, that's been given out because of ongoing reasons in the real world, which we can't apparently talk about in YouTube videos. If you're in the future watching this, far future years down the line, obviously look at the date of the video, and I'll say the word self-isolation and I should do the job. But yes, obviously stay safe, be sensible, and have a good weekend, guys. Until then, ta-ra.